We're still hunting for that property pin that's 780 feet that way, 779.39 feet to be exact. And I'm going to show you some things on how you can use Google Earth on the iPhone and Google Earth Pro on your PC, or they probably have an Apple version too, but Google Earth Pro to help you locate the pin. Now, iPhone GPS is not particularly accurate. It can be plus or minus over 30 feet, right or wrong. But, in our previous video, I did the trigonometry for, if you're only 1 degree off over 700 feet, you can be 13 or 14 feet off at the other end. So what we're going to do is kind of use my measurement, my compass, and then use Google Earth. I'm going to set my iPhone down here and let it resolve for 4 or 5 minutes, and then set that point in Google Earth. And I'll do that 4 or 5 times. We'll average that so that hopefully we get something that is plus or minus, only a foot or two wrong. Then we'll go do that at the other end where I believe the pin is, and do the same thing, take the readings, and then I'll go on my PC version, transfer those points into the PC version, and we'll be able to do the compass heading. And because it's over such a long distance, our compass heading should actually be pretty accurate. At least I think it will be. So let's try this as another method to find property pins, at least on larger pieces of property. So using Google Earth Pro on the PC, Google Earth on the iPhone, and using the GPS. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we did 5 readings off Google Earth for the iPhone at one end. This is where we measured with the tape measure to 780 feet. So again, because we're following the contours in general, our tape measure should have been a little bit short, because a surveying line is a very straight through the earth basically. So if you go up a hill and down a hill, you got to go right through the middle of the hill. So our tape measure's got to be a bit short. So this is 780 as the tape measure goes. 780 per survey might be another 5 feet that way, perhaps. So now we're going to put the iPhone up on here, and we're going to do 5 Google Earth readings, and then we'll see, back home when we load it into the PC, Google Earth Pro version, we'll load the 5 points in, and we'll see if our compass heading is right, or if we need to go a little bit left or a little bit right of this. So our whole point is to try and get an accurate compass heading, because again, distances, it can be off by quite a bit. But over such a long distance, even if we're 10 or 15 feet off left or right, the compass heading should be pretty accurate. So let's give it a try. Okay, so I took 5 readings here, and just as an experiment, iPhone Google Earth will let you do a measurement, but it will not give you the compass heading like Google Earth Pro on the desktop does. But I decided I would just, get a rough measurement, and it's saying 800 feet to here from most of the points. So again, because the GPS is plus or minus 20 plus feet, plus or minus right or wrong, 800 feet is within the precision of a iPhone GPS. Our tape measure, again, I really doubt that we're wrong by more than a few feet, 10 at the most, given previous experience with it. So I think the next step is to take our data, take it home, and put it into Google Earth Pro on the PC and see if at least our compass heading is right to here, or if we need to be a little farther that way or a little closer to the woods. And that'll give us a defined area that we'll search with the metal detector. So next step, to the PC.
So I'm using Google Earth Pro desktop, and I'll put the web link to where you download Google Earth Pro, the different versions that are available for Linux, iOS, and Windows. And so this gives us some additional tools that are not available on the iPhone. So there are some things like the compass heading when you draw a line. So we're going to use some of that here, and I'll show you what I did. I loaded the points that we picked up from the iPhone over here on the far right hand side. We've got some points loaded, and then on the left hand side we have the points that I did at the end of the video. And I did one purposely wrong just to really make sure that, you know, we're getting far away from the known set points that we recorded. So let's take a look at what we got. I loaded all these points up into Google Earth, and it puts it over on the menu. You can make that smaller if you need more screen space, but not necessary. So I'll just leave this open so you can see that you can take points off if you want to ignore them, or put them all on or off by the subfolder that you set up. So I can turn it off and on. So while we were at the site on the iPhone, I drew this top line, and this was the one where I kind of said, okay, I'm going to put a line in about the middle of the points as best as I can tell on the iPhone, and then draw the line across for about 800 feet. And it actually came out pretty close, but then the results here that I'm showing, let's go over here and zoom in on. These are at the known pin. So in other words, I had my iPhone on the known pin location. I'll really zoom in here. And for whatever reason, they kind of grouped themselves, right? 3 and 2 were very close together, and 1, 4, and 5 were very close together. Don't know why, and we can use a little measure tool here to estimate what the difference here is. And we'll use the measure tool. Come on, measure tool. There we go. And so they are approximately 7.5 feet apart, give or take. I'm a little short on the start of my line. So you can see here how when I have a line drawn, it can give me feet and degrees of measure, the compass heading. So same iPhone, sitting in the same location, taking 5 readings, and we basically got a disagreement of about 7 feet. So the top line is drawn at the exact compass heading as the deed requires. The bottom line then is that same thing, but starting from these other 2 points, and it's a little bit off just because I'm assuming they're both wrong a little bit, and the reality is probably somewhere in the middle. Kind of interesting that our line drawn from the far side landed in about the middle, but that is, you know, I was kind of aiming for the middle of these points. These points were taken first. But the top and bottom lines are drawn using this line draw feature from here, and then drawn out the 779 feet and, at the proper compass heading. So you can see here as I get very close, then our compass heading comes right out to the compass heading that we need, which was 8.47 or 8.5, some 184 something. I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but you can see you can get very precise with your compass headings. So the thing to know about Google Maps Pro is the actual images of your map are not particularly accurate. So again, it's probably can be 20 to 30 feet off the actual drawing or the picture. But when you take some points, if I put a point down here and I draw a line over to here, the compass heading and the measurements are actually very accurate, and the compass headings are very accurate. So what does this basically tell me? It tells me that starting from these points down here, that out here in the woods where we were searching for the pin, we're probably potentially a little bit past it. But again, remember, our compass heading's 10 to 20, maybe even 30 feet wrong. But we're probably need to be closer to this neighbor's field. So more, as we were facing the camera out here, was going to be more to my left. Basically, we need to get closer to the open field. So this is really the area we probably need to search in with the metal detector. An iPhone compass, just not accurate enough to really get us to a place where we put a shovel to dirt and start searching for pins. I think Google Earth is very helpful to get your compass headings right, get the general layout, making sure that your tape measure wasn't grossly wrong. But basically, I think we're going to need to move a little closer to the field and start looking around here. And with some other exciting news, I actually got access to some GPS units that have an accuracy or plus or minus less than half a meter. So I'm going to give those GPS units a try. I borrowed them from a neighbor. Going to give those a try on here, see if we can narrow it further, and then we're going to get the metal detector out and search some more. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.